I can replace you in 24 hours, she shouted, her face flushed, eyes burning with something that felt less like love and more like contempt. The words sliced through the silence of our living room like broken glass, and for a moment, I just stood there, staring at her, my mouth dry, my heart hammering in my chest. It was one thing to argue, another to disagree, but this? This was a declaration, a threat, a line crossed so recklessly it left me stunned. I didn't scream back. I didn't throw something against the wall like a man in a movie might. Instead, I took a slow breath and said, "Okay, then." My voice surprised even me, steady, cold, final. Her smirk faltered, just for a second, before she turned away, muttering under her breath. But that second, it was enough. It was the moment I knew something had shifted between us, something that couldn't be undone. That night, I barely slept. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, her words replaying again and again. Replace me. Replace me in 24 hours. Was that how she really saw me? As interchangeable, disposable, like an old chair or a phone she could upgrade when the mood struck. Red flags I had brushed aside over the years suddenly surfaced in my memory. Her phone flipped upside down on the table whenever it buzzed. The way she laughed a little too easily with certain men, saying they were just friends. The late nights she explained away with work emergencies. I had wanted to believe her. God, I needed to believe her. By morning, I wasn't sure if I was more angry or broken. But I knew I needed the truth. 2 days later, I found it, tucked inside her purse while she was in the shower. A receipt. Dinner for 2 at a restaurant I had begged her to go to with me for months. My chest tightened as I read the date, last Thursday. She had told me she was stuck late at work. I put the receipt back where I found it. My hands trembled, but my face betrayed nothing when she came out of the bathroom, towel wrapped around her body, humming. She kissed my cheek absent-mindedly, the way you pat a dog you barely notice anymore, and went about her day. That was when I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her right away. I wanted to see just how far she had gone. Over the next week, I became an actor in my own marriage, smiling when expected, speaking when spoken to, but watching. Always watching. I noticed the new perfume she only wore when she worked late. The extra care in her makeup on days she didn't see me. The way her laughter at dinner never quite reached her eyes anymore. And then came the text. I'd been suspicious enough to sync her phone to our laptop, something she never imagined I'd know how to do. That night, while she showered again, I opened it. A message lit up the screen. From Brandon. Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you. My blood ran cold. Her reply came seconds later. Me too. He doesn't suspect a thing. I shut the laptop slowly, my hands numb. The weight of betrayal pressed down on me like a stone crushing my chest. My wife, my partner, my confidant, the woman I thought I would grow old with, was planning her new life while I sat just a room away. For hours, I sat in the dark, my mind a battlefield of rage and heartbreak. A part of me wanted to scream, to throw her phone at her face and demand answers. Another part wanted to crawl into a corner and cry until there was nothing left. But neither felt right. She had humiliated me with her words, her lies, her betrayal. If she thought I was replaceable, I would show her exactly what being replaced looked like. The next day, I called a lawyer. Quietly, carefully, I began moving pieces into place, separating accounts, securing my assets, preparing for the storm I knew was coming. And then I waited. She came home late again 3 nights later, hair slightly messy, the faintest trace of cologne on her clothes that wasn't mine. I was sitting on the couch, a folder in my lap. She froze when she saw me awake. "Daniel, what are you doing up?" she asked, her voice too casual, too forced. I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt a strange calm wash over me. "Just thinking," I said, setting the folder on the coffee table. "You remember the other night? When you said you could replace me in 24 hours. She blinked, caught off guard. I was angry. I didn't mean. I cut her off. "You did. And you already did, didn't you?" Her face went pale. Her lips parted, but no words came out. I slid the folder toward her. Inside were printouts of her messages, bank statements, and the receipt from that dinner. Her hands shook as she flipped through them. "Daniel, please, I can explain." I stood, my voice steady, the same calm tone I'd used when I first said okay, then. "No need. You already explained it all. I was just too blind to hear it." Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt nothing, not anger, not pity, just emptiness. "You can't just walk away," she whispered, desperation creeping into her voice. "We've built a life together." I looked at her one last time, at the woman I had loved so fiercely and who had gutted me without hesitation. "You're right. We built it. And you tore it down." When I left that night, I didn't slam the door. I didn't shout. I simply walked away, the quiet echo of her sobs trailing behind me. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt free. But freedom didn't erase the wound. It didn't silence the memory of her laugh with another man, the sting of her words, the look of fear when the truth finally cornered her. No, that wound would stay with me forever. Because love doesn't just die, it's betrayed, strangled, and left gasping in the silence of a home that no longer feels like home. And once it's gone, nothing, not even 24 hours, can ever bring it back.